Here's a quick tour of PocketAI Journal. Please pardon the messages. They're just test messages, and especially the violent ones are just to trigger the system, which I'll show you more about that in a minute. But here's the main page of the journaling system. So I come up, I'll click Add Entry, and I'll enter my message. I'll select Mood and Submit. So as that submits, the objective of this journal is, of course, to give something to allow students to work on their writing skills, to share their feelings, and it's also a nice system for flagging potential issues. So for example, there's what I wrote, there's some moderation feedback, my self-reported mood, and then what it does is it assigns a sentiment analysis. So whatever text I entered, it analyzes that. It gives a sentiment score and pulls out specific keywords. Here's an explanation of those scores. So then I can come over here and click on my stats, and I can see the number of entries, my average length, my mood over time. So you can see if there's a trend, like the student can see if there's a trend in their moods. How many of my entries were positive, how many were neutral, negative, and so on. Now this chart I think is really helpful because it shows if there's a disconnect between the way someone is feeling and what they're writing. So what this does is it analyzes the mood the student reports, the sentiment score and analysis, and it checks to see if there's a disconnect. And if there is, right here it has significant discrepancies. So the sentiment was negative, but the mood was awesome. And so I can click on this and I can look at that journal entry and see where is the disconnect and why, and how many times that happens. So if you're seeing a high percentage, so here's a little report. If you're seeing a high percentage of over 70%, that's going to be good emotional awareness. But if it's lower than 40%, that's something that maybe you want to look into. And keyword frequency, the main keywords that are used in the journal. Potential issues and concerns such as self-harm or violence, those get flagged for that. And then explanation of flag scores. If there is a journal entry that's flagged, what happens is the faculty member automatically receives an email notification so that they can reach out to the student, make sure everything is okay. It also will send an automatic email to the counseling department. So I spoke to the manager of disability services, and she said, yes, when they get flagged, have the email sent to her, and then they can reach out to the student. So it's a nice intervention system as well. And then self-improvement resources. Now for the faculty dashboard, I can come in here and see all of my classes combined. What is everybody's mood looking like? And if I look at a specific section, I can get a little bit more information, so I can see total number of students, my average sentiment, average mood. And if I have an average mood that's terrible, you know, what's the common denominator here? Why is there such an issue with my class? And how many are flagged comments? Then I can come down and I can look at specific students. So this troublemaker guy, Mousel, I'll click on him. And I can see number of entries again. Same report that the student sees, I can see for each individual student. And before they make a journal entry, they're very well aware that your professor has access to these entries. And down here, before they click submit every time, it will tell them if you share content that expresses hate speech, harassment, or self-harm, your professor and the counseling department may be contacted to offer support. So that's it in a nutshell. Be interested to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.